When it comes to committing crimes, men are usually the ones who are most involved. However, there have been some really bad women who have done terrible things and become famous for their crimes. They're so bad that even the worst men might be ashamed. In this video, I will talk about top 10 notorious female criminals in history. 10. Sandra Avila Beltran. Sandra Avila Beltran, also known as the Queen of the Pacific, was a powerful figure in the world of drug trafficking. She led the Sinaloa cartel and was romantically involved with Colombian drug trafficker Juan Diego Espinos. Beltran once controlled a big share of the drug trafficking between Colombia and Mexico. She had a luxurious lifestyle and she reportedly kept it even in prison after she was arrested. 9. Patty Hurst. The story of Patty Hurst is an intriguing one. She was the heiress of media baron William Randolph Hearst and was kidnapped by guerrilla gang Symbionist Liberation Army when she was a college student. Later she appeared in a video declaring she had joined SLA. She was also caught in surveillance cameras conducting a bank robbery and wielding a gun. The police caught her within a year and she was sentenced in prison for 7 years. She was later pardoned. 8. Janine Jones. Janine Jones, a pediatric nurse from Texas, committed heinous crimes by administering lethal injections to several infants, including drugs like digoxin, heparin, and succinylcholine. Her twisted notion was to gain notoriety by endangering children and then heroically saving them in public. However, things didn't go according to plan and several children died from heart paralysis and breathing problems. Although Jones was apprehended, evidence against her was limited. Following an extensive trial, she was convicted of 1 murder and sentenced to prison. Jones is not only a convicted murderer, but also a suspected serial killer, making her one of the most infamous female criminals. Authorities believe she may be responsible for the deaths of as many as 60 infants and children. 7. Carla Hulka. Carla Hulka was an active participant in several rapes and murders with her husband Paul Bernardo. They murdered a couple of teenage girls and even Carla's younger sister. They even recorded some of their heinous acts. The police eventually caught them, but Carla managed to get a lighter sentence, claiming that she was forced by Bernardo to participate in the crimes. This notorious Canadian serial killer, along with her husband, raped and murdered 3 young girls. She got a worldwide media attention when she was convicted of manslaughter following a plea bargain in the 1991 and 1992 rape murders of 2 Ontario teenage girls, Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French. 6. Dian Downs. One of the worst mothers in history. Dian Downs. She attempted to kill all of her children in a desperate bid to maintain a relationship with her boyfriend, who did not want kids. Downs shot her children and then drove them to the hospital, concocting a fabricated story of a carjacking to cover up her crimes. To further support her false narrative, she inflicted wounds upon herself. Tragically, only her second child perished, and the testimony of her eldest daughter exposed her mother's cruel deeds. Downs received a life sentence for her crimes. Her story has been adapted into a movie titled Small Sacrifices, based on the book of the same name by Anne Rule. Dian Downs is widely regarded as one of history's most notorious female criminals. 5. Aileen Wuornos. She started as a prostitute at a young age. Seeking to increase her earnings, she turned to petty crimes, bringing her into frequent clashes with the law. Wuornos entered into a relationship with Tyria Moore, a hotel maid, which led to an escalation in the severity of their activities. Together, they robbed Wuornos' clients, resorting to violence and murder when faced with resistance. Within a year, they had claimed the lives of 7 men. Wuornos was eventually apprehended, convicted of multiple murders, and sentenced to death. She was executed in 2001. Aileen Wuornos is widely recognized as one of history's most notorious female criminals, infamous for her monstrous serial killings in Florida. Her life story was depicted in the 2003 film Monster, which chronicles her journey from childhood to her first murder conviction. Charlize Theron portrayed Wuornos in the film, delivering an award-winning performance that earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress. 4. Griselda Blanco. Known as the Queen of Cocaine and the Black Widow, Griselda Blanco was not a petty criminal. She was a drug queen and a ruthless one at that. During the 1970s and 80s, she became one of the principal figures in cocaine trade and gang wars in America. She was a merciless killer, even not shy to kill her husband over money. She is said to have killed hundreds of people, including her former husbands. She was caught and sentenced for 19 years in jail. After release, she was shot dead by an anonymous attacker. 3. Lizzie Bordon, the prime suspect of the sensational Fall River murders of 1892. Lizzie Bordon was figured in one of the gruesome episodes of American history. According to her story, she found her father dead on his couch, covered in blood, and his left eyeball split in half. Her stepmother was discovered in same fashion in a bedroom. Lizzie's testimony was inconsistent, and there was an overwhelming amount of evidence against her, including the maid's testimony. Despite this, she was acquitted and the mystery remained unsolved. 2. Bonnie Parker. Bonnie was the accomplice and lover of Clyde Barrow, who together went on a crime spree during the Great Depression. They, with their Barrow gang, conducted a series of robberies, kidnappings and murders, evading the police on every occasion. They continued their rampage for 4 years, till they were caught in a planned ambush in 1934. Bonnie and Clyde were shot and killed in the attack, but their legend, notorious as it is, stayed in the popular culture. Bonnie Parker named one of the most notorious female criminals in history. In addition to other crimes like robberies, she is most prolific murderess too. She, along with her gang, is believed to have killed at least 9 police officers and several civilians. 1. Mary Ann Cotton. Mary Ann Cotton, one of the most notorious female serial killers in history, gained infamy for her heinous crimes. She married 4 times and shockingly, each of her husbands and their children succumbed to the same mysterious stomach fever. Suspicion mounted as she collected large sums of insurance money each time. Eventually, the media exposed her sinister pattern, revealing that she had poisoned her husbands, friends and even her own mother and children with arsenic. In total, Mary Ann Cotton murdered as many as 21 people, including 11 of her own children, with only 2 surviving. Her reign of terror came to an end when she was arrested and subsequently hanged at Durham County Gaol on March 24, 1873. In 2015, a television drama, Dark Angel, was filmed on Mary Ann's life. The drama was inspired by the book Mary Ann Cotton, Britain's first female serial killer by David Wilson.